mynews.studio.
Gold-painted border signs, river patrols, and a court ruling. Can land rights change the fate of the Amazon?
Today is August 28, 2025. Let's get straight to it. The Brazilian government has just recognized the Munduruku tribe's claim to more than 178,000 hectares of Amazon rainforest. That's a huge stretch, roughly the size of London and New York City combined. Why is this such a big deal?
It's historic. The Munduruku have fought for years to get legal recognition of their ancestral land. They've faced illegal mining, logging, deforestation. Now with this ruling, they're not only protecting their home, they're also safeguarding a key part of the Amazon. And that's important for global climate stability. But why did it take so long?
That's what I was wondering. Brazil's legal process for indigenous land demarcation is slow, and it's often complicated by politics. But the Munduruku didn't just wait for the system. They took action, auto-demarcation. That's literally marking their territory themselves, right? With signs, maps, even patrols? Did that approach push the government to act?
Yes, exactly. Their community-led surveillance plus international advocacy put real pressure on authorities. NGOs like Amazon Watch stepped in with legal support and helped develop sustainable agriculture, things like chicken breeding and cassava flour production. That gave the community alternatives to mining and logging. So it's not just about the environment, it's also about how people make a living and about autonomy. But with the land now officially recognized, do the threats go away?
Not really. Illegal miners and loggers don't just disappear because there's a new law. The government has stepped up enforcement. They've destroyed equipment, seized assets, and removed people. But experts say that's just the start. What's actually needed are regular federal patrols and tackling the finances behind illegal mining. But can enforcement work if there aren't better economic options?
No, enforcement is only part of it. If local people don't have legal, sustainable ways to earn a living, the incentives for illegal activity are still there. That's why the Munduruku's work with NGOs on alternative livelihoods is so important. And it's not just about jobs. When indigenous communities have a say in oversight and planning, enforcement gets stronger. How does this fit into the bigger global picture?
The Amazon is sometimes called the lungs of the planet. Protecting it isn't just a local issue, it's a global one. And studies show that legal recognition of indigenous land rights is one of the most effective ways to protect forests. This decision could set a precedent. If other countries follow suit, could we see more protections elsewhere?
It's possible. The Munduruku combined legal action, direct action on the ground, and coalition building. That's a model other indigenous groups might use. They're drawing on constitutional rights, international agreements like ILO Convention 169, and public advocacy. Do you think these strategies could work in places like the Congo Basin or Southeast Asia?
They could. The Munduruku's persistence, plus strong legal and advocacy networks, really shifted both policy and public awareness. But even with land rights, there's always a risk of renewed pressure, economic or otherwise. So how do communities keep illegal actors out, even after a legal win?
That's the difficult part. It needs ongoing monitoring, solid legal backing, and real support for sustainable development. And most importantly, indigenous communities have to be involved at every stage. Otherwise, rights on paper might not mean much in reality.
So legal recognition is a milestone. It's not the finish line. The Munduruku story is a reminder that real protection starts from the ground up. That can mean anything from GPS mapping to international advocacy.
And as the world pays attention, their success could inspire similar movements. It might even change how we think about conservation and indigenous rights everywhere.
Today we covered the Munduruku's legal victory, their strategies for protecting the Amazon, and what it could mean globally. Thanks for joining us at the intersection of land rights, climate, and community action.
Thank you for listening. This episode was powered by mynews.studio. Try it now for free.